listen. So last weekend I went to the Stalker Con in Atlanta, and I just wanted to talk about my experience. I want to talk about the prices of the autographs and the prices of the selfies and the wait times to meet certain people, and then I want to talk about my experience with my photo ops. So yeah, I'll get right into it. We got there exactly when it opened. We were waiting in line for maybe like 10 minutes. My tip about bringing a bag, I got a sling bag, but I got a clear bag. And they were like, okay, you're good going. And I was kind of like, okay. So I turned right and there was just, the whole wall was everyone. I first jumped in line with Tom Payne. He is something. We waited in line maybe 25 minutes. Of course, I was really nervous because that was my first celebrity of the day. He's a lot shorter in person than I thought he would be. His price, I believe, was $50 for an autograph and $50 for a selfie. My experience is I went up there and I looked at him and I was like, hi. And he was like, hi, I want to take some pictures. I was like, okay. We took a lot of pictures. I think we took 4 or 5. But I would say if you're going to take pictures, take selfies rather than somebody taking a picture of you guys, because they will take a lot of pictures. So next after that, we went to Josh McDermott's line, who plays Eugene. His line was humongous. His price was $50 for an autograph and $50 for a selfie. So I think we waited about 40 minutes. My experience talking to him, he is just like his character. His voice is so monotone, and it's like, it's kind of boring after a while talking to him. Like when we saw him, we were like, hey, and he was like, oh, hey, how are you? Like, I don't know, he wasn't that excited. After talking for a while, we took our pictures and stuff. After that, he sat there and was starting to ask us where we were from and if we knew any good food places that were in Atlanta. So after Eugene, we went and just walked around and looked at all the booths. The artists that they had were amazing. There was so many things that I wanted to buy, but I couldn't afford. Me and my family took a picture at Dale's RV. It was cool to see it. After that, we just kind of walked around for a while until it was time for our first photo op. Our first photo op was with Jeffrey Dean Morgan. My experience was we were standing there and there was a lot of lines next to us. I guess the lines next to me and the one next to that were VIP, because I noticed our line wasn't moving for 15-20 minutes. I almost threw up when I saw him through the curtain. Like, I got so excited and nervous when I was seeing him from like 20 people back. I know photo ops are supposed to be really like quick moving, stand there, take your picture and leave, but with Jeffrey, it is not quick moving at all. When it was my turn, I went up to him and I was like, okay, this is it. Oh my gosh. So I was standing there and he looked at me and he put his hands up like this and he was like, how are you? I was like, and so he put his arms around us. He was like, oh, you guys have the prettiest smiles. But then after, my mom let go and started walking out because they were like, next. But he would not let go. It was like, oh, thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate it. But he just kept saying, next, next, like, let me go. I was like, she's gonna get mad. This is the picture. So I love Pollyanna McIntosh, who plays Anne. My experience with her wasn't the best that it could have been. We were waiting in line for over an hour and she wasn't there the whole time. Like 40-45 minutes passed and we're kind of just looking at the volunteer who's in charge, and we were like, hey, do you know when she's gonna be back? And she was like, well, I texted her about 30 minutes ago and they said they were on the way, so they should be here soon. And I was like, okay. So another 30 minutes passed and it's been an hour now, and some other lady was getting impatient, so she went up to her and was like, hey, it's been a while, do you know if she's gonna come back anytime soon? And she was like, well, I just texted her again and they said that they'd be on the way and she should be here in 10 minutes. Is she coming? Is she not? So I had a photo op with Steven, who plays Glenn, at 5:50, and I was waiting in line from like 4:30 to 5:30. She eventually showed up I think it was 6 o'clock. Thing that made me kind of is that she came back with a bunch of suitcases and shopping bags. It bothered me a lot. So her price was $40 for an autograph and $40 for a selfie. Yeah, it was way cheaper than I expected. The combo was only $60 for an autograph and a selfie, so the pictures me and Pollyanna took, I love them all. So the photo op with Steven, the whole thing that was going on was that people were getting really frustrated. I guess he arrived really late. He was behind schedule and everything. My photo op was originally at 3 o'clock. While I was in line with Pollyanna, my mom and dad went over to look at the line for Steven, and she said that it was like humongous wrapped around like photo like op area. So I was like, okay, I'll be fine. I have time to stand in this line. So when we were done with Pollyanna pictures, I sprinted so fast to that photo op, and right when we got there, there was maybe like 5 people in front of me in line. Like, we made it just in time. He's the cutest. I walked in and I looked at him and I said, save the best for last. He said, oh, really? So I went and I got my picture with him. This is how it turned out. It's so cute. You could tell he was tired. I was just trying to be fun, like energetic with him, and he was like hugging me and he was like, thank you so much for coming. If you have a chance to be the last person in line, you be the last person in line. I had so much time with him. I had time to talk to him. He was hugging me for so long, and he like talked to my family. Like, it was worth it being last in line. You need to do it if you want to talk to him. Then let's talk about day 2. Me and my friend Claire, we went and met Sarah, who plays Lori. Her price was only, I want to say $40, and I think the combo was $60. Yeah, we got a picture with her. She was super sweet. So after her, we went and got in line to meet my favorite, Lori Holden, who plays Andrea. So my experience with her was something. It was $50 for an autograph, $50 for a selfie, and $100 for a combo. So I went and got a selfie with her. She's standing there and she's like, I guess she didn't like the lighting, and she looked at the volunteer or her manager, I don't know who it was, but she was like, I'm not doing any more selfies until I have good lighting. So then she looks at me, and then I'm like, oh, well, I have this case, and I have a Lumi case. She was like, oh, that's perfect. So we went and took a picture, and she looked at it and she was like, I hate this. And she deleted it off my phone, and she was like, can you please come back later? I really want you to have good lighting in your picture. I was like, okay. Throughout the day, I kept going back to her booth, and she was never there. I waited for a while. Eventually she was there, and I hopped in line, and hey, I'm from earlier. I already paid. I came back because she didn't like the lighting. And the manager was like, oh, and she was like, Lori, she's back. And she looked at me and she was like, you're back. And I was like, yep, this girl. She pulls out a whole ring light out of nowhere and clips it on my phone. She takes pictures and she like looks at them and she's like, I don't like those. We need more hair. And like took them again, and she was like, these are perfect. Do you like these? And I was like, yeah, I like these. She was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, okay, good. She was like, you were gonna regret if you didn't come back. Oh my gosh, I love you. So after that, we went and saw Chandler. So my experience with him wasn't good. It wasn't him, it was just the line. So the line, there was nobody in line. So it was kind of like, what's going on here? His price was $80 for an autograph or $80 for a selfie. So me and my friends split it. So we get up there and this lady's like looking at us and she's like, are you guys doing an autograph or a picture? And we were like, a picture. And she was like, okay, have your money ready and then get up there as soon as you can. And I was like, okay, like, so there was an opening and she was like, okay, let's go. But then people were still getting in line behind me. So I was like, why am I being rushed? Oh, I get up there and he said, hey, how are you? And he like shook me and my friend's hand and he was like, okay, let's take this picture. And I was like, okay. So we stood there, took the picture. And then he like looked at us and rubbed our backs and was like, okay, have a good day. And I was like, who would pay $80 for that 2-second experience? I was like, a photo op would have been better than whatever just happened. So towards the end of the day, we walked around, went to the booths. I got a couple things. An Instagram post from Oscar's Red Hat. I don't know if he's gonna be at any of the other conventions, but he's like a really good artist. He posted this thing about like, hey, come to my booth, mention this post, and you'll get something free. So I did, and I got a free like postcard size picture of Negan, and he signed it. I also got a really nice guy who's Carter Morrison. He was super sweet. He's a teacher, and he had these for $1. for $1. So it was the last day they were having sales on everything. So then I got this poster of Negan for $3. And then also I went and got, this is my favorite. I think I spent $30 on this. It's this nice poster. I'm going to bring it to every single convention. I said I wasn't going to be one of those people. I'm going to do it now. So the last person we met was Alana, who plays Tara. Up to her and I was like, hey. And she was like, hi, how are you? And I was like, good. And that was pretty much it. She just like signed my poster. And then I like stood there and waited because my friend was getting a picture with her. She looked at me and was like, oh, do you want to jump in? And I was like, yeah. So I did get some pictures with her. That was it. That's my experience for the Walker Stalker Con Atlanta 2018. If you have any questions, you can just comment down below. If you like this video and want to see more videos with my face in it, click the subscribe button. I post every Monday. Okay, see you guys next Monday. Bye.